Welcome to Are We Gonna Talk About It with Ty
and Taryn. It is a space where we have candid conversations surrounding
faith, marriage,
family, and ministry.
Here we go.
Come on, toast me up.
Let's talk.
Let's talk. Hey guys, welcome back.
What's up, y'all?
Y'all missed us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to season 4.
Are we really in season 4?
Of Are We Gonna Talk About It?
Are we gonna
with
talk
Ty
and Taryn?
4 seasons.
Wow,
Boy, this is great.
This is huge.
Welcome
back. I know we can be consistent and go after the things. Like I think this is a testament to both of us.
Well, you said we can be consistent. I need help in that area.
Well, I think this has really helped us. I think and we'll talk about this, but even when we recently did a workout challenge, it showed us that we can be consistent with things. And so I'm loving the consistency, especially something like this where you take a long break. Yeah. And then life is doing all the things and other projects and tasks that you could easily say, okay, we can just push this off the plate, but to bring it back. And I know we had a conversation about even coming back, like, okay, are we ready? And what are we going to be talking about this season?
I enjoyed the break.
I did.
Can I say that?
I did too. And I know you, especially because you have a whole lot more work to do on the back end of the podcast. He does the editing and the setting everything up. I come in at the very end and just add little details here and there. But yeah, so
I enjoyed the break, but at the same time, I knew we had to get back.
We had to get back,
and it was kind of hard because it's like with anything that you got to do, you got to take care of. And we could have easily just been like, oh, let's just push it back. But it's like, it's something in us that's just like, we know we got to do this. We know that God has put this on our heart to do. And so,
we even thought about waiting until next year, like the beginning of next year. We were like, no,
can't do that.
We got it in us. Like we recognized that there was grace in this season to go ahead and kick it off again. So we're here.
And we're here. And I hope that y'all been good and that y'all had a good break as well. Listen, man, wherever you're streaming from, make sure that you make sure you subscribe. I don't got to tell y'all because y'all have already done that. But whoever you're sending this to and sharing this with, just make sure that they jump in so that you can be notified every time a new episode comes out. You already know every Thursday morning we're dropping a brand new episode.
Yes, this is exciting.
Yes, it is very exciting.
Man, so what we want to do in this episode is just kind of let y'all know what we've been up to. I know y'all probably will see us on social media, and that's how you're able to stay connected with us. But we just kind of wanted to do a little recap from us taking a break from season 3 and now where we are. And so that's what we're here for. It's going to be more lighthearted this episode. We got some heavy topics coming though. So make sure if you have not subscribed, go ahead and do that. And just stay locked in because we do have some really good conversations. I think I've been just making notes, in my phone of conversation topics, things that we've talked about, things that we just experienced throughout this break. Like, man, that would be something good to share with our audience. We have a lot of heavy hitters coming as far as topics, but today it's going to be a little bit lighthearted. We're just going to hit a recap on where we've been, what we've been up to. And I think when we left, it was about to be summertime. It was like our final episode was like in May, and we were getting ready for summer break. The kids, they didn't do any summer camps. They came home. They were home with us over the course of the summer, but I believe that we did pretty good. What do you think? What are your thoughts about how summer went for you? If you can go back in memory. And
so I enjoy, don't nobody judge me for this, but I love it when we're able to send kids away for camp.
Yeah, I do too.
We didn't do that this summer,
but we did say we were going to create a budget for next summer and I think our kids, they need that too. Yeah, they need that. I think they want that, and so we need that, and we want that. But it gives them something to do. Like it keeps them really busy. I think they still had a good summer. Yeah, because we did a lot of traveling. Yeah, we still got to get out the house and explore a little bit, and so.
I think the summer was pretty good.
Yeah, I think between traveling, I did still make them. I bought workbooks for my parents out there who do have their kids, home with them for the summer. I buy the workbooks like on Amazon for the next grade that they're going into. So every morning, or mostly every morning, they hit their workbooks in the morning time. And then after that, they pretty much are, whatever you want to do for summer. And they had their share of sleepovers with their cousins. And I don't think we really got out as much in Charlotte though, right? No,
maybe not.
No, maybe a festival here and there.
Yeah,
but we did travel. We went to Alabama to go see my family. We, of course, going to Alabama, y'all know we have to go to the beach, go stick our toes in some water and sand. And so we were able to do that. Of course, y'all know before we took our break, we actually took the kids to Disney World. And I think we shared that in the previous season. We got a chance to go to Disney World, hit all 4 parks. And so we really wasn't planning to do a whole lot for this summer, but Tyler wanted to go to the beach. That was his request. He was like, forget Disney. I want to go to the beach. So we went to the beach, spent some time there, traveled to Atlanta for a family reunion. And so I don't think we had been to Atlanta in a while. And so that was pretty cool to just be back and, kind of spend time with family. And then the parentals, the parents.
Do that drum again?
Do. Why are you laughing at me? And then your girl celebrated 40. Big 40, 40. I don't know if that's the same. Is that going to be backwards on the screen? I'm not sure. But y'all, so I celebrated my big major. 40.
That's probably
birthday,
that's the
40th birthday.
That's the biggest thing that happened this year.
That's the biggest thing,
That's bigger than Disney. That's the biggest thing that happened this year.
Yeah. And
even the trip we took.
Yes. Taylor and Tyler's parents got outside. We went to Jamaica, y'all, if y'all didn't know that already. We actually said, we're going to take this trip. I think I was talking to Ty about it. I was like, man, I was thinking like, what do I want to do for my 40th birthday? Like, what do I want that to look like? What do I want to experience? Do I want to have a party? And then I started thinking, I'm like, the cost of a party, the way that I would want to have it for the 40th, you're talking food, you're talking venue, you're talking outfit, all the things, favors, like the cost that I would shell out for a 40th birthday party. I'm like, we need to take a trip. So I was like, I started looking.
Did I fight it though?
No, I came to you and I was like, babe, I know what I want for my 40th. I want to take a trip to Jamaica. And I was like,
because I was like, well,
I'm ready to go too. But the funny thing is, I told him, y'all, I was like, if you don't want to go, I'm going to still go. I mean, I want to at least. But I'm glad that my husband
We don't entertain that foolishness.
There's nothing wrong with me taking a trip. We're not going back. We're not going there again. But
sips.
So yeah, we went to Jamaica. We went to Montego Bay, Jamaica, and just had a phenomenal time.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was actually being able to wake. Now, normally on vacation, I don't wake up early, but I was just so excited to be there. And, because I knew we had the full day ahead of us, we didn't have to rush to get back. It was like I could wake up early, we'll, go eat breakfast, go sit out at the beach and just chill. And then you look up and it's like, oh, it's only 10 o'clock. Like, that's it.
But I think too, because outside of the travel days, the 2 travel days, I think we had a good 3 solid days. Yeah. 3 solid days. So it felt like I can afford to wake up early to see the sunrise, or at least most of it. We call it that morning, and still have 2 more days to sleep in completely. Actually, the 5th day we slept in.
Yeah, because our flight didn't leave till late. Yeah. So we had another full day, and I also enjoyed the food. Yeah, I think one of the things for me as far as that trip was like, okay, if we go to Jamaica, I want to get real authentic Jamaican food. Like, you got the resort food and it was really good. And so I thought that we were going to have to venture off the premises and go into, the town. Yeah. But it just so happened to be Jamaica Independence Day. And they pulled out all the stops for us, y'all. They pulled out like all the Jamaican and food, and it was like real deal. The dancing, music, they did a whole party, fireworks. So I was like, God, you did so kind, Father. You did this just for me or for us. So that really was very special. And then part of it wasn't just celebrate my birthday. We knew we hadn't taken a trip since our honeymoon, like a vacation trip. We went to Brazil on a mission trip, but that was 2012.
Yeah,
when we went to Dominican Republic for a honeymoon, our honeymoon. And so we were long overdue for that.
11 and a half years ago.
So, we had to kind of look at the schedule. As far as like our anniversary isn't until October, but we knew we probably wouldn't have a babysitter. The kids would be in school. So let's just combine it all, birthday, anniversary, let's go. And when I got back, and of course you start calculating the costs. I'm a numbers financial girl. Like I'm like looking at all the costs, but I'm like 2 words, worth it. And I'm glad we did it. And so thank you for, openness and being on board with it. And so.
Yeah, no, I think even when we were coming home, it was probably at least 2 people. I thought 2 or 3 people said, see you soon.
Yes.
Or can't wait to, what did they say? Well, no, a couple people said welcome home. But there were at least 2 or 3 people that
see you
said,
next week.
Yeah.
They were saying like, see you next week.
I was like, listen,
don't you test me.
Is that a prophetic word?
Because I tell y'all what, now that I've been bitten by the vacation, like overseas vacation bug,
boy,
like
we got a real hurt in.
I'm ready to go somewhere else. And
we weren't even back yet. We were in the airport.
Yep.
And you were on your phone looking up the next trip.
I'm just like, that's what happens.
Hadn't
like when you
kiss
go,
your babies to say, hey, we back.
Mama,
and already was gone again.
But I think it's a thing where you do have to be intentional, like with the things that you desire to do. And one of the things I don't know if we talked about it in our financial episode, but what we come to realize about ourselves is that we value experiences. And so is it worth this experience to pay this cost or to save your money and to invest and go and do the things that you enjoy doing? I mean, we work hard, and it's not to pat ourselves on the back or anything like that. But I also feel like, like we should be open to moments where we can travel and have those experiences, because that's what we value. And so of course it's something that, we definitely pray about, but we don't just go book trips. Even with the Jamaica trip, one of the things that when we started really like planning out and getting ready to pay the deposit, I literally felt Holy Spirit like prick my heart. And he was like, did you pray about this? I was like, well, I felt like I had peace, but like, did you ask?
Speak to that.
Can you go? And then I was just sat there, y'all, and it was one of those moments. I was having my quiet time, just reading, but then he just nudged me on that, and then I was like, no, I didn't pray. But then I'm like, but do I want to right now? Because if I ask you and you tell me no, I'm gonna feel sad. I'm gonna be in my feelings. And so I sat in it, and then I just said, Lord, like, are you fine with me going? Like, are you okay with us taking this trip? And in some way he gave confirmation, but I was just like, whoo. I was bracing myself for the no, because I just thought like, okay, for him to check me like that, he's about to tell me no. But he signed off on it, and he provided. And I'm telling you, I know every trip and vacation does not necessarily mean that it goes so smoothly, but this was so smooth that it just had me just aware of like, man, God, your grace.
It was really good.
And your peace is with us heavy right now.
It was definitely really good. It's even down to the details of, what was the club? Club Mobay.
Club Mobay. That's like the airport. It's kind of like in the US how they have the different lounges for like the different flight companies, like American Airlines lounge. So they have one in Jamaica called Club Mobay, where you pay a little bit extra, but as soon as you get off the flight, you have somebody greeting you there with your name on the sign, and then they walk you past everybody else through all the custom stuff.
I feel like you like that part too much.
Man, I enjoyed it. I've never had
No, I'm talking about walking past everybody else. You highly emphasize that part, walk past everybody else.
Well, you know what?
Y'all be acting funny when y'all get in the fast lane.
It felt weird because I wasn't used to being in a space like that. So I'm just like, this is cool. But I mean, we paid for it. So I'm going to enjoy walking past because we paid for it.
Was it? Somebody said you just looking over at the commoners.
Commoners. I mean, that's how you was at Disney World, truth be told. when you get that lightning lane.
Pass?
Yeah. That lightning lane, you like,
I ain't even make eye contact with nobody because I ain't want nobody to feel bad because I was walking past them. But at the same time, I'm like, the hand of God is on my life.
So talk about that, because I think that's the thing when it comes to God's blessings being on you, or you having access to something. Why is it that sometimes, you kind of get that feeling of like being an imposter, or that's
the word I was about to use.
Yeah.
Like, it almost feels like you don't belong here. Like, this shouldn't be it. Like, honestly, and I'm joking about it, but honestly, like that was a thing. And that's why I stopped you on it, because we're walking through the line from Obey, and it's like, especially on the way home.
Yeah.
In the airport in Jamaica on the way home. And it's like this long line. You could tell people are tired. People are not like laughing and joking in line. People are just kind of looking around like, this line is super long.
Yeah.
And then we're just like beeline through everybody. And like you could feel the eyes on you. But at the same time, it's like, but we paid for this.
Wow.
So not just we paid for it, but then I think where some of the guilt comes in is just like, dang, bro, but some of these people, it's not that they don't want to pay the money, they just may not have the money.
Yeah.
So then I think the wrestling match with me, or the tension comes where it's like, yeah, God, I know your hand is on my life, at least from a spiritual perspective. Yeah, I know that you've called me. Yeah, I know that you have anointed me. Yeah, I know that you've graced me for this and given me favor. But at the same time, then I'm sometimes torn with that compassion where it's just like, dang, but I want them to have it too.
Yeah.
Like I want them to get it too, not necessarily at the expense of mine, but at the same time, like, but having that heart of compassion for the other people, not looking down on them, but then like, dang, I want somebody else to be able to experience this, even if they don't have it. So that's where my tussle is. Like, I don't be looking at people weird or funny because I don't know everybody's situation, but at the same time, like trying not to squeeze the joy out of my experience just because of the compassion pulling me to somebody else.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah,
and
I
think
enjoy this.
That's humility, not feeling yourself so much that you can't consider somebody else. And who knows, God may eventually put you in a place where you say, hey, you come with me, like,
I would love to.
Especially if it's on your heart in that way. I think that's one of the things that we both talk about sometimes, is just like wanting to give other people like experiences and things that we experience.
Wouldn't that be dope to buy a first class ticket and then like let somebody else sit in your seat?
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so yeah, it's exciting. I think it's humbling. I love what you shared about it, and just shows just your heart posture with that. I think, speaking of heart posture, one of the things about turning, I wouldn't even say it's with me turning 40.
No, it's not.
It's not just 40, but I think some things did start to come to the forefront, with turning 40, some just reflections, when you hit those big milestone ages, you're like, let me sit for a minute and let me just ponder and just think about the goodness of the Lord. Let me think about, the things I still desire to do, be his will. And so I think for me, I've been in that mode of just like reflecting a lot. And just kind of seeing, okay, where am I right now in this season? And I think that's one of the things we wanted to share with you all also, not just all the things that we've been doing, but just even spiritually where we are, and so I'm gonna turn it on you first. Where are you?
Man, so one thing that's been pretty consistent with us, and the reason I said it's not been since 40, or you turning 40 didn't cause this heart posture shift is because I feel like, I want to say within the last maybe 2 years or so, I know it's been like something has been stirring up on the inside of us where I feel like, this is the way I explained it to you. It's almost like our appetite is changing. And, it's almost like when you have a certain appetite, it's like you can snack, but it's just like, this ain't getting it. Like this, I need more. I need something heavy. Or when you have cravings, when you have different cravings. Like the other day, you told me you were craving. I don't even remember what you told me, but you had a
I'm
craving.
Not pregnant.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Pause. But like when you have certain cravings, especially when you're pregnant, but when you have certain cravings, it's like your body internally is telling you, what you need, and you go out and get it. And I want to say, man, like I want to say recently, because it's been like this stirring happening where we've developed more and more of an appetite for the Word of God, more of an appetite for Jesus. And by that I mean, like, and I know we're going to talk about this in another episode, so I don't want to go too deep into it. Right. But just a desire for the presence of God, a desire for the heart of God, a desire for the Word of God. And so any message we're listening to that's not the Word, it's like, this don't feed me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Any conversations that are not, I'm not saying like on the surface conversation, but if we are digging deep and talking about the Word, any conversations that are not pointing back to Jesus, is like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Even things on social media, certain people that you may follow, and it's just like, man, you're a great influencer, great encourager, inspirational, everything, man, but give me Jesus.
Just give me Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to circle back with another episode for that, because I think we got a whole lot more digging to do. But thank you for sharing that.
How you feel about that? We got about a minute.
How do I feel about give me Jesus, or what?
Where your heart posture?
Oh, my heart posture. Yeah. Oh man, my heart posture has been getting surgery. Like it's been a lot of surgery happening in my heart.
Yeah.
Things that I think, as you walk with the Lord, as you grow, you might be like, okay, well, I feel like I've gotten over that, or I've, the Lord's dealt with me on that. Yeah. But like you said, when you do want to draw closer to Him, there's more work that has to be done. Like there's more work that comes by way of drawing closer to Him, because He is a holy God.
Yeah.
And so as we're like, for me, as I get closer to Him, I feel just more of like that sanctification happening in my heart, that conviction. And one of the prayers I just continue to pray over and over again, I believe it's Psalm 51, where it's like, creating me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. I think I just have been praying that a whole lot lately, and that's a tough prayer to pray, because when you're asking the Lord to purify your heart, like that means you're gonna be shown things in your heart that's not pure. And so I am persistent in praying that, though, because I think at the root of that for me, it's just like I want to look like Jesus. I want to be conformed into His image and after His likeness. I want what comes out of my mouth, what I do, how I think, how I position myself. I want it to come from a pure place. And of course, the main goal is to win people over to Christ, to minister to those in my area of influence, my family, my husband, my children. And so that requires a pure heart.
Yeah.
Like, and I just can't sit with things just staying the same, on the inside. And it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of construction happening.
I know we're going to comb through it. Y'all come back next week. Because we're going to dig through this. And I know it doesn't sound so much appealing, but at the same time, or it's not a catchy title topic, but man, there are really a people who are desperately and zealously like yearning for God and more of God. And one of the reasons why we can't have more of him is because we're not willing to die. Yeah. And like similar to what and again, I don't want to come too deep into this, man. I'm really trying my best not to. Y'all just come back next week. But I'll say, you were saying like the main goal is to draw people into Christ. But the Word of God also says that that they'll know you by your love one for another. Right. And if you like, so it's like they'll see the love, but that thing starts in you first. So it's like, all right, God, squeeze me. And so my thing has been, I pray God show me myself. But then also one thing I've been working on even this week is anytime I see something in my flesh rise up that I don't like, I address it head on. Just like, nope. All right. Let's go get in the closet real quick. Now let's go pray real quick. That's God, good. Flush this thing out of me. God, wring this thing out of me. God, take this thing out of me. Because sometimes you'll pray, God, show me. And then it's like, oh, well, I ain't see nothing, so let me move about my business. But when the stuff come up in a regular day,
this is what you pray for.
It's like, bro, all right, let's address it now. And so anyway, we gonna dig through this, man, because these are things that have been stirring on the inside of us, but I believe that it'll resonate with a lot of people as well, who really earnestly just want more of God. Yeah. And I think that's the heart of God. Wants us to come to Him anyway.
To pursue Him. Yeah.
So, man, y'all jump back in next week because
it's gonna be good.
It absolutely is. So excited. It is gonna be good.
Yeah.
And so, but we thank y'all for tuning in. We thank y'all for coming back to us. Man, we look forward to this season. Bunch of exciting things to come. A bunch of exciting topics as well. We ask you again, subscribe, like, share, comment. Y'all know we always try our best to get back to y'all on social media, YouTube, wherever you're streaming, listening, or enjoying this content.
Definitely.
Make sure that you jump in.
All right, guys. We'll see you all in the next episode.
All right.
Bye.